I would like to thank for this Congress all of you of Turkish Music Union and its purpose is the showing the place of Turkic countries and to congratulate that. And in today Turkic Music Union TV, Turksat, Azersat and Kazakhstat satellite in many countries it's being published, and Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Turkey, Kyrgyzstan in many countries. In the other networks it is in. Today in Turkish Music Union screens to Europe, to Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Cyprus, Turkey and Azerbaijan singers. It is possible, and with this we show Turkish World is a union of Turkish Music Union, is the joint channel of Turkic Music Union, and proud to serve and with our joint projects. Once more we would like to continue these services, and the most main one is 2013. It is called Diffusion Türk Vision Song Contest. The first is in Eskişehir, Turkic World Cultural Capital, and also in Kazan, and third and fourth one is in Istanbul City is made. And of this Turkish Vision Song Contest purpose is that the contemporary Turkish music, and with this song we are bringing Turkish unions together and having a together 20th century is a Turkic century, and we believe that as Turkish music channel to Turkish channel until today we served, and we will continue to serve in the future as well to have better services. And before the Karabakh Forum, if you allow me, to all of us, to Turkic World of Azerbaijan and Turkish World 44 days of war in the homeland, I congratulate all of us, and 900 martyrs of all together. Thank you so much.
Dünyasının kültür ve sanat mirasını üstlenen TRT TV, Türk dünyasının ilk ve tek müzik kanalıdır. Aralık 2009'da kurulan TRT TV olarak Türk dili konuşan ülkelerin çağdaş müziğini ve Türk dünyasının sesini dünyaya tanıtmak misyonuyla yola çıkmış, Orta Asya'dan Rusya'ya kadar milyonlarca kilometre karelik çok geniş bir coğrafyada Türk dilini, müziğini ve kültürünü tanıtmaya devam ediyoruz. Cumhuriyetleri devletler nezdinde tanıdığı bir müzik kanalıdır. 1993 yılında tüm Türk Cumhuriyetlerinin Kültür Bakanlarının ortak imzasıyla kurulan TürkSOy, Türk Kültür ve Sanatları
Ortak yönetimi 25-26 Ekim 2008 tarihinde Kırgızistan'ın başkenti Bişkek'te gerçekleştirdiği 25. dönem toplantısında TMB'ye tam destek kararı almıştır. TMB TV dünyada ilk ve tek uluslararası Türk müzik kanalıdır. TMB TV olarak Merkez İstanbul olmak üzere Altaylardan, Orta Asya'dan, Kafkaslardan başlayarak Anadolu Türkleri, Tatarlar, Başkırtlar, Gagavuzlar, Hakaslar, Yakutlar, Tuvalar, Uygurlar, Kırım Tatarları ve diğer Türk boylarının müziğini dünyaya tanıtmayı amaçlamaktayız. TMB TV, Türk halklarını kültür ocağı etrafında birleştirme özelliğini taşımaktadır. Türk Müzik Birliği kanalı olarak müzik eğlence programlarının yanı sıra Türk dünyasında ilk ve tek olan Türk Vizyon şarkı yarışmasını da hayata geçirerek 2013'ten bu yana tüm Türk dünyasını bir çatı altında birleştirdi ve dünyaya Türk müziğini tanıtarak Türk Vizyon şarkı yarışmasını geleneksel hale getirdi. Birliktelik gönüllerde başlar. Türk Müzik Birliği Televizyonu.
Türk Müzik Birliği Televizyonu
Turkish Music TV, Mr. Islam, now this is our final session. The name of it is the victory from. Now I would like to invite our moderator, then I will invite our panelist. Turkey Azerbaijan Foundation, Professor Dr. Aygün Aktar, I would like to invite to the floor. I will invite the speaker and Girne American University, Dr. Hasibe Şaloğlu. And Altınbaş Üniversitesi Rektör, Professor Dr. Çağrı Erhan, please sir. And Azerbaijan TV, Oğuzhan Mamadov. And from Özbekistan, Karampir.Urs, Kamalettin Sharkov. And Kyrgyzstan National TV Director Aybek Turganyev. Azerbaijan Ada University Communication and Media Works Şafak Mehraliyev. Now final two speakers from Kazakhstan, Aykim Amankali Kurmet, coming please. Hungary National Channel, Zoltan Egelesi, please sir. I'm sorry, we have one more video with the team, then we will continue. Azerbaijan, distinguished Azerbaijan Vice President and National Movement Party from and distinguished ambassador, academicians, participants, and Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Northern Republic, Turkish Republic, my kins, as you would think, from 8 countries, more than 500 participants. 2 days it's continuing the Turkish Council, the media platform. It's not easy to run the last session, and name of this session, you all thrilled when we mention his name and historical heroism defending the nation. In this century, they are writing a history with Karabakh victory. Of course, you will excuse my excitement. This victory coming from the unity with this team of this media forum, the final to be selected is very wise for the communication strategy and successful. And for the 32 years I live in Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Karabakh family as a member of family. In today's session, for 30 years under occupation of my father, seized father, and under scope of Karabakh, and neither Armenian, and the biggest problem of the modern problem regarding Armenians, 1.5-year-old Zehra, this is a modernity problem with the regard, I will not talk about them. If you allow me, my Excellency Deputy President and including the Northern Republic of Turkish, if they allow me, I will today, 1 year ago, where I was born and that I have childhood for Kubatlı, first women martyr lady. I would like to. I ask her picture. Is there a question? Any problem? We all see here celebrated 14 years old. She couldn't celebrate the 31st year because 1 year ago today in Kubatlı she was martyred, and this session actually is a death for us in the Karabakh. And also it's an opportunity to send our and before me in the previous sessions, of course our heart is so full. It was an amazing meeting of Turkish Council, especially the communication directorate. They have a huge effort, I should mention, and I try to use the time efficiently, but the communication sociology and for strategy, this form should be assessed now regarding communication strategy, why it is very important. I do see this form and of Karabakh after that war, and then the victory, Turkey and Azerbaijan relation, because for communication strategy it's successful because I'm chairing the last in 1918 in all the Turkish geography, the women given the first voting and being voted right first state Azerbaijan, and I was born in there, and then I'm a Karabakh family, but also I have been witness to history writing. I have seen that the communication presidency, Fahrettin Altun and Hikmet Ayci's effort, both countries' state president, politicas, wholeheartedly they make it. I have listened all the speeches and I've seen that everyone is agreeing that with the Karabakh victory, that process, Turkey and Azerbaijan in media communication actually is very important for Turkish geographies, which means this 44th day of Karabakh victory should not be only this Karabakh victory. At the same time, for media world, it should be in as the victory. Now, regarding Karabakh, regarding this victory from Hungary and Kazakhstan in Turkey, my distinguished and all the partisans will be talking. However, I want to talk only in the opening speech two important things. One of them is by the presidents, where in this video message of the Republic President of Turkey, 40 days of Karabakh war showed us that the Western media is far from objectivity and we should do our own business, which means in the joint media platform, these 2 days of meeting, it will be the origin. We came here very nice and how we shall continue. This is important. And second thing, what make me touched to Fahrettin Altun, as I said in the opening speech said by the communication directorate, it's this like this of Azerbaijan, 40 days of war, along with the Can Azerbaijan. We had the honor to fight with them. So kind.
Açısından çok önemlidir. Çünkü ne
It's important for communication strategy. It is important to say it's not a secret. Another formulate actually putting his hand under the stone more than anyone. With an integral approach, I believe it was very important, so we shall not forget. Before I end my words, I want to say this. In Azerbaijan, the parts occupied by Armenian, there were 66 mosques, and the Western media is paying attention. They claim to pay attention to the religion. Other than two of them,
edildi tümü.
they were all ruined. And the Western media, I couldn't read anything. Did you read any news about them? nearly 40 million generally from the books from libraries, too many. And most importantly, the Western media mentioned and the protecting nature, our forests have been fired from Fuzuli, nothing left. And regarding this, did you hear anything in the Western media? No, this means that more than libraries, archaeological arts, 444 historical building, more than 40,000 I said books and museum things were stolen, and the religious structures which was damaged on not only for Islam but also Christian buildings, but no one from the Western media have mentioned this, which means that in these 40 days of war we have seen that the Western media failed. So this victory, what was its spirit? I was very special saying that they said Karabakh victory is not victory only for Azerbaijan. Yes, on the strong horses back and with the principle of ruling the world with justice, going until Vienna, the ancient nation. What were the main reasons? Protection of right against injustice, and despite being found in 92 in the Madrid agreement, the Azerbaijan president today, all of us talk retaking of the Azerbaijan land. We gave more than 2,000 martyrs, and even not to have casualties in Armenia. Actually, we are insisting in the core of the Karabakh victory and the UN decision, actually by using the self-protection right. But when there is the fight, which heroism are made, and in the golden pages of the history, we are the signature of such nation in Karabakh. So I would like to thank everyone who made us live this victory. We extend our respects, and those Hara Bülbül today we are proudly here, and pay attention in the media form. This is the first topic which was talked a lot, and with the last one we would like to thank the communication directorate and everyone on behalf of myself and on behalf of academic and also in Azerbaijan, to the mothers who sent their children to war, and to our victors. I end my speech here. Distinguished speakers, their opinions are important for us because the history saw the Karabakh victory, but this heroism story under that know that it was Azerbaijan who fought, and it was Azerbaijan mothers, and best way, both diplomatical and military success, it was Azerbaijan president. However, we all see the spiritual power So we have gratitude and to the collaboration of Turkic Council. I want to say whose heart is beating with Azerbaijan in Azerbaijan. The Turkic taassup not only with the carriers of the ancient from Hungary to National Public University Service. Dr. Zaltın Ege, please, the floor is yours. Thank you so much. Distinguished guests and participants, thank you for your invitation, and to the organizers, I would like to extend my gratitude to the Communication Center, Turkey and Turkish Council, as Hungary, as the observer country, sees this event as an opportunity, and so I want to say a few words in my mother language.
És Karabakról beszélhetek ezen a fantasztikus eseményen. Köszönöm szépen.
I will continue in Turkish. I will say a few sentences again. In the institution I work, in the international, I work for international affairs, and as a researcher last year, we have followed what happened in Karabakh. Some events, unfortunately, due to COVID, only online, because more people and students, academicians, etc. On the other hand, the Hungary, we got more information in those weeks, and Azerbaijan gave great effort. It was to tell to Hungarian society, because I will continue in English.
Özellikle jeopolitik anlamda Karabağ Savaşı'nın son yıl.
I will try to tell.
Almost 1 year has passed since the end of the ceasefire agreement of the 44-day war, and it had several geopolitical consequences. So I know that I have limited time, but I would like to fit in the long run. That's why I just would like to to emphasize the most important geopolitical changes what happened during during the war and after and onwards. From a Hungarian perspective, let's say from the heart of Central Europe or Europe, from a country of the European, which is a member of the European. Major geopolitical changes what happened almost 1 year ago was the liberation of the
Uzun yıllar adaletsizlikler olmuştu burada. Bu da Azerbaycan topluluğu için büyük bir yüktü. Sadece Azerbaycan için değil, tüm Türk toplulukları için de. Bu da en önemli şeylerden birisi oldu. Burada özellikle Türkiye için
really important steps toward the rebuilding and settlement of the whole issue. The second really important issue what we could see from Hungary, not just during the war, but is in Turkey in the South Caucasus, and we know very well that Turkey and Azerbaijan established really good relations. Even before the war, there were several joint military drills, economic and military cooperation, several agreements signed, which were a kind of sign of the approaching interest, but the Turkish troops' presence in the joint military center, observation center with the Russian troops points out that Turkey does everything in order to secure the regional peace and also to secure its own interest, which is really close to the Azeris one. Here, we could talk a lot about the rapprochement and the strong alliance between Azerbaijan and Turkey. We know very well that we talk about one nation and two countries, which is also well known in Hungary. But I just would like to mention one really important step which was really striking for me concerning the ongoing cooperation between Turkey and Azerbaijan. And I'm talking about a country, as a citizen of a country which is within the Schengen area. So the decision to introduce the travel between the two countries just by only using ID card, I think a huge step for the intra-Turkey cooperation. And on the long run, we would like to see the same in case of Hungary, but of course, it's a long issue. The third really important step that I have to mention that this regional change and the increased Turkish presence in the South Caucasus, not just militarily but economically and so on, started to frustrate several states. What should be taken account anytime? Georgia, from one point of view, was a little bit upset due to rather economic reasons, but right now Iran can be perceived as a kind of, not a threat, but a country which is frustrated due to this development, not just from the military point of view, but concerning the transportation networks. And here the importance of the Zangezur corridor, which should be opened, hopefully it will happen in the prospective future, shall be highlighted, and probably in the upcoming presenters will also address this issue, but we see from Hungary that this corridor can have a major impact in the land transportation networks for the Turkic world, from Baku to Ankara. It could be possible to save lots of time and of course money to travel, to transport various goods. So it's also a major geopolitical change, and which can disturb, which not just can, it disturbs Iran. And this shall be taken into consideration. And finally, what I would like to mention that Russia is also in, and the settlement of the conflict cannot neglect the presence of Russia. However, and it's really important, and from the Hungarian perspective, it was perceived as a really good initiative that Turkey initiated to create a six-way platform involving South Caucasian states, Russia, Turkey, of course, and Iran, in order to make a platform, make a forum where these countries can settle their disputes. Unfortunately, due to several reasons, it couldn't be realized, but hopefully in the future, several steps can be taken in order to bring together these countries and find a final solution for the ongoing issues and make the region even more stable. And here I would like to finish my presentation and give the word back. Thank you very much.
Teşekkür ederiz. Şimdi ben zamanı da göz önünde bulundurarak 8 tane konuşmacımız var. Her konuşmadan sonra yorum yapma değil, konuşmaların tümü tamamlandıktan sonra ortak yorum yapılmasının süre açısından uygun olacağını düşünüyorum. Arkadaşlar da göz önünde bulundurarak. Sıradaki konuşmacı Çağrı Erhan hocamız. Altınbaş Üniversitesi rektörüdür. Aynı zamanda Cumhurbaşkanlığı Güvenlik ve Dış Politikalar
from Altınbaş University with his own saying last 3 months. I'm not sure whether it's increased. He came to Azerbaijan 3 or 4 times, please. Distinguished lecturer, I thank you a lot. Our Deputy President and distinguished Ambassador, I welcome you all with respect. Hopefully we will be in Baku in the 5th with Mr. Hikmet. We will have our Karabakh Victory Conference within 10 minutes. I would like to shortly, I will talk about the members of Agit Mis and their members media. In 44 days of Karadağ war, their attitudes, and from now on, as the Turkish word, what we should do. My personal opinion I would like to share. As you know, our lecturer also mentioned in the beginning, the Minsk group, approximately 29 years ago, of three countries. It was found an international organization, and actually under Agit, Russia, France, and US, this institution under this co-presidency, it has three main duties. One of them is between the parties, this dispute to be settled between parties, a framework to be created, and also to provide the ceasefire between parties, to take necessary measures, and under Agit via peace forces to start and maintain a peace between parties. However, since its founding, this Minsk group, their approach to Karabakh, as they are very taking sides starting from 2010, this is the highest level we have seen. Both France and Russia and US, their side-taking attitude definitely in three of these countries, the Armenian diaspora to be, and the Armenian diaspora is affecting important role of these three countries. Of these, until now, they have never been in a neutral. And during the war, especially the attitude of France being with Armenia, not only in Azerbaijan, also in Turkey and in the Turkic world, it was taken as reaction. As of today, if there is Minsk group cannot solve, it was found to solve the Karabakh issue. Today there is no Karabakh problem. We don't need Minsk group, because in our 40 days of homeland fought, Azerbaijan, with the support of our allies, and those projects have been realized. On one hand, the mined areas are demined. On the other hand, the people who were migrated from their own land, creating them, and on the other hand, by constructing roads with these projects, Azerbaijan to have their own mechanism. Karabakh is now becoming so. In such a phase, we don't need a re-Azerbaijan settlement in Karabakh problem for talking. We don't need to talk about it. This problem has been solved. This problem has been solved with the weapon of Azerbaijan army, and also my distinguished tutor showed with the blood of thousands of martyrs under the leadership of Ilham Aliyev. Therefore, Agit, Minsk, or in other institutions, another group, they don't need to open a statute issue. Azerbaijan have registered the status of Azerbaijan. Karabakh belongs to Azerbaijan. Starting from this point, both in Turkey and also in Turkic world, this status which we mention of Azerbaijan's to be an integral part, in order to register, what should we do? There are few recommendations I will conclude my speech accordingly. First of all, both in official level and also in the university, in academia or in media, with our meetings with our own correspondent. We need to have a terminology union. Not only Azerbaijan and Turkey, but all Turkish world. The Azerbaijan having Karabakh dispute, they will say there is no such dispute, it will help it. But if we can provide this terminology, then we will be talking about Karabakh. Then of course the Minsk group and others will use this lack of terminology in favor of them. Don't you look at they are silent now. In a short time, with some peace projects, they will come to us, and before everything, all the diplomatical and other talks, there is no Karabakh problem, and that Karabakh is a land of Azerbaijan. We should repeat without getting tired. And secondly, of course, our support will not be only in discourse. We should show this with our own actions. Our Excellency President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, with a strong delegation, paid a visit to Susha and Baku on the winter, and a very important agreement was signed between Turkey and Azerbaijan. Then for Susha to be Turkic World Culture Capital, we talk what can be done. My humble opinion, Karabakh is a part of Azerbaijan, which is an integral part, not in the discourse, but also in the action. The Turkic world countries should increase their existence in the Susha, both for Azerbaijan history and Karabakh history. It's a culture center, so we can have a Turkic world culture house with the contribution of all of them here. We can have Turkic world cultural festivals, and in the shortest time, including Turkey, all the Turkic worlds to open a embassy, and while they have their own flags, and also to register as this is a part of Azerbaijan. I believe this is a must, and we should do that immediately. I believe it. And lastly, us under a serious media bombardment, the world is turning very fast, and everything is very fast. Along with the globalization, all of them, nearly every moment, we are not only through TV but also through social media, we are aware of something. 1 year has passed of the Karabakh. However, from Karabakh victory, in order to keep this alive, we need to, whether we do necessary works, we should think about it. Where there is too much bombardment of news, in such time as like a victory like Karabakh, we should always keep it live in our own public. And first there is the National Education Ministries. My humble opinion is that in their own curriculum this Karabakh victory should be mentioned, and small children should know this. How come for 30 years it is under occupation, a Turkish territory, not only Azerbaijan territory? How come with a huge victory it is being part of the Turkic world again? All the countries, they should know in those countries, and that it should be given as a lecture. With this opportunity, I would like to say to Turkey Council, and Communication Directorate, and I hope that this solidarity between Turkish world will increase every day, and 5 to 10 years later, maybe these meetings, not only media, not only culture, but also in every aspect of the politics and economics, hopefully we will be doing. I kindly respect all of you. Yes, with the academic discipline, both speakers, they have the time, so I would like to thank now from Kazakhstan because of my name. First of all the world, we are here to talk the media issue of all Turkic world. We are happy for this. And it's effect of the Kazakhstan community of this Karabakh war, because last year this time our Azerbaijan brothers saved Karabakh for saving from occupation 30 years ago. Until that time, until the September of last year, the Karabakh issue was not known. You might heard, but they didn't know what it was. And now, with the effort of Reshat Mamadov, and of course, as I know, the society didn't know this issue, because with the effort of our ambassador, the society started understanding, because our information generally looks for Russia. Unfortunately, most of the Central Asia countries, they are looking from Russia's point of view. So it took us this time after the Soviets collapsed, and after this victory, I can say this victory is reawakening. This is a victory, and because at that time people were looking, and our brothers and sisters, they got so many information about them in 44 days. I just counted. The other research companies can say in Kazakh language, all the websites, at least one time they made this news. And what is interesting is, of course, in the recent time, in Kazakhstan society, social media influence increases, and WhatsApp, Facebook in Kazakhstan Republic is like a mirror. In that 44 days, the researchers can look. I also experted in Kazakhcha Karabakh, the ones who are trying to make news. 48 channels, of course, some watch for thousands, or doesn't matter. What is important, my nation, our Kazakh people, look from the Turkish Union point of view, and in this 30 years of Azerbaijan invasion, as to how we it bring, they understood, and also in the speech of Ilhan Aliyev and those videos by making Kazakh wording, and also they have great effort of previously regarding this Karabakh, not only Turkish integration, bloggers were writing it, and last year at least 10 or 20 times in Facebook. In the next times they say with a contribution to the victory. People were thinking like that. And what is important here, what did Karabakh victory as the nation, our bloggers, social media users, they found alternative channels. Previously they were looking at Russia colleagues. Now during the Karabakh events after the victory found out that there are other sources. So the Russia who are making manipulation, they could get other institutions as well. We met Azerbaijan websites, Turkey websites. The bloggers started learning about Turkish websites in this Kazakhstan society. This is an alternative sources. So this the awareness with what I mentioned. Now because of this, in every topic we are looking what our brothers and sisters says. We started learn from thinking the Kazakhstan social media, and in that time, in social media the state wanted to be openly supported. Our president said we will observe the UN decisions, and then in Astana, that Nursultan Nazarbayev, at times the Azerbaijan, the nation was arisen, so with a contribution there, why didn't we share the suffering of Azerbaijan people? But now the Kazakhstan society, all Turkey, and they see this the most effective event. Of course, Turkish Council, Turkish Academy, Turkish institutions have their own working field, but after Karabakh, when Genci and Bardi was pushed with museum that time in the social media, they said so important of these. This is serving the real integration. I know it from Bidanlan. I'm a sociology expert. Therefore, sometimes I don't look as a journalist, but also as a sociolog. And the most important part of the Karabakh, this is, but how it should be, we should look, because at that time, 20th of September, in Nefseni, a researcher in 12 countries, it says even Turkey's opinion regarding Karabakh, at least 13%, 86% were neutral. They were saying that at that time 147 news. Look, which means that we have our own research groups. Of course, I don't believe what they say as I'm inside, as I'm in always contact with Azerbaijani brothers and sisters, and as I follow mass media in 44 days, 147 news, I cannot believe, and it was 1181 news. So in such a period, we want that the sociological research companies, that are too many in Turkey, and they should work more efficiently. Of course, there were some, but due to pandemic, it was not made, and this research should be made better, because now the society's integration, and we need to understand their point of view. In the Central Asia, we say the Western media, but in the Central Asia, we look it from the Northern media. So the effect of the Northern media should be made accordingly, and Kazakhstan situation, the effect of bloggers a lot, and Turkish world bloggers or media forum should come together and meet with each other in these kind of issues. Like it is mentioned, the Karabakh issue was removed. Now they are trying to make the heaven of the Turkish world, and in Susha, our nation should look at it as to how Karabakh is developing all the Turkish world, and our enemies should be jealous of us. And for that purpose, the Turkic world blogger, if they have a meeting, it can be better. So thank you so much. I couldn't speak well Turkish, but I believe you have understood what I mean. Waiting distinguish the sociological and as a communicator, and also with a nice Turkish. So we are applauding them once more. And next speaker from Azerbaijan, and the guide, and Rushen Mamedov, Azerbaijan TV radio company president. All the Turkic words and countries in such a day. Do you know what I think? For many years, the Turkic world are fighting with the homeland. They fought, and then they gave their lives to Turkic Union. In such a day, great Atatürk Mustafa Kemal and Haydar Aliyev, really, it's an important historical date, and I'm proud of it. Every opinion, it will be better, and look, we are talking about a history because they are the real examples in this country, in this beautiful Istanbul, Topkapı, Ayasofya, Sultanahmet, Yerebatan Sarayı, etc. in Azerbaijan, Cherishir, etc. and in Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan. There are many examples. They are not only Turkey's or Kazakhstan. These are Turkish world national values. Therefore, we say that we talk about the rooted Turkish history, and of this Turkish history, we say our own opinions. But to see the future, you need to have concrete steps. Today, you should have real examples. Thanks God, we have these examples, and the Turkish states now, this Turkey Council and similar institutions, Turkish civilization and also Turkish business, and they come together with these. But in 44th day of the Turkish country and Azerbaijan victory, and it's a real example. Afterwards, Turkish Republic President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan Shuba visit. It's a real this Azerbaijan President Nursultan Nazarbayev said that these re-establishing is a real also Azerbaijan platform. Today I will get your ideas for future. Today we need to establish our plan. The time is passing quickly and we need to get maximum. But before what I will say, the Turkic word, the union, spiritual union should be completed. Today we are witnessing the Turkish Council actively did everything, but today we witnessed, because before me today we are talking about it. And distinguish form the shortest time Turkish people. Yes, there is form, it's very nice, but the form should be in the shortest time. In the shortest time. And 20 countries at the same time, and also in 40 countries of Africa information centers, and also FANA of the 16 Arabic countries, Latin America, or Alasai, or ASEAN, independent but authentic. We can talk many hours. What these gives is bringing them closer as the Turkish nations, as to how nice it is today between Azerbaijan and Turkey, very close to each other, and their hearts are together, but Azerbaijan and Turkey knows each other. And why? What is this barrier? Why they cannot remove it? Because we have the power, we have the will, we just needed to take step. And Turkey and Azerbaijan president took this step, and also creating these kind of institutions is to it's a huge opportunities. This is important. This is something needed. But before everything, there is important reason. Sometimes we don't care for it. These institutions are the UN institutions. They have the law to consult. Now they are international. They are representing their own countries now. And I'm very optimistic that in the 4 to 5 years, the Turkish countries will have these, and it will be having important words in. And my second and third, do you know why it is? We hit the 44 days of the homeland fight. We have won. We have been victors. However, at the same time, our civilian citizens in danger tell how they are died because of the missiles, and also represented by Zera, 3,000 martyrs are given for freedom. They lost their lives for that purpose. So we have seen this in the closest history. Only 1 year has passed, so we are always consulting. However, within this 1 year, maybe we grow by 10 years, and we wanted that none of these countries hit this because the civilians are lost. And then, once more, our Turkish brothers and sisters, without them, we couldn't win the information war. We have learned many things, and today it's ongoing. Therefore, we wish that none of the Turkish citizens see such, but also from the Armenian land, whether on the diplomacy or either in the information, the Armenian ideology today are their main objective, not Azerbaijan, it's the whole Turkic world. We can only fight them, we can win them, just like Azerbaijan president in 44 days. They did this, a huge, but no, it's not died. They are just, we don't need to give that time to them, and in order to that, we need to be one together. We need to step up together. Without further ado, I wish that the power of the Turkic world, we should be showing all the world the power of Turkish world, and also putting their eyes, I'm sorry, but this is so, and Ali Başkumandan İlham Aliyev, I would like to read what he says. It was said in Nahchivan in Turkish Shura. Today it is very fitting. He said that we know that protecting your own land, if we are together and if we use this union in all our work, because in Turkic countries we have all the possibilities and strong economy and infrastructure, all these facilities. If we carry them to one place, Turkic world will have a strong power, and this is up to us. And Azerbaijan President İlham Aliyev said this. And thank you. There is a political will and concrete steps. So can use these opportunities maximum and put our punch, and in the shortest time this alliance can be made. So this is our most valuable and glory duty. May Allah protect the Turkic word, and we thank Rushan Mamedova for from the field and also from the works. And I would like to thank Ravsho from Azerbaijan Turkish. I will give. I'm so excited that whenever you go to Baku, all the Turkic were together. So thank you so much. And from Can Azerbaijan, Ada University, Public and International Relations School, PR and Media Works Lecturer Şefik Mereliyeva. Why you are with computer? I thought in the last 2 days. Then I have understood that in Turkey there is the fires. So it was so upsetting the Azerbaijani, and here the Turkish and social media Azerbaijan youth were talking to each other to tree planting campaign. Then I told it before, no, even one paper I cannot waste it. So in Karabakh our forests are wasted, so we will re-put every. And from Turkish Council, I would like to thank for this council and bringing all us together in the Istanbul, the meeting point of Turkey. I would like to thank Turkish Airlines, and so also I think that in the close past this was a dream, bringing all of us together and talking our opinions together. And if we, with this feeling, if we brought it, then we will go to our own need. And one more dream of me I want to share with you. 15 years I passed my life in US, and in US my son graduated school from there, and they say that when the son goes to school and in geography that America maps in the North or South America. I was just longing that I was saying I wish Islam citizens or one of the languages was Hispan, because when I look at in the Hispanic language are in such big places, they feel their own civilization. And my wish after a while, after I go to Azerbaijan, and I wanted to also describe it. I was into Istanbul. We sent us, and while going to Bursa, the bus dropped us in Ramiz Köfte. I went there, order, and it was a surreal feeling because I have left my home, but I was at home again. And from east there is the empowering feeling and another story in Bishkek. I was in Anatolia Square and to Manas, and from Syriac alphabet there was such a saying, kulağını kaptap kuş kıldım, which means that of course I worked my mind, but I known people and I made a homeland of them. It is the Turkish root. You feel it immediately. And today of Karabakh, in the victory of Karabakh victory, I'm a science person and I want to the Karabakh of Azerbaijan. In that fight, every people from the Western media, they were serious, seeing that we were not seeing our truth, because for us the justice was with us and it was based on facts. So our superiorities were supporting us. We had the facts, we had the truth. Even the victims were with us. Nearly 1 million of and Azerbaijan. However, media, they were not mentioned, and also on the field where no humanism, the Western media, it was just giving it like an unimportant detail. So what was the reason for that? Let's discuss this. Why they are not consulted from our own land? The occupation was not mentioned. Shortly to the answers, because Armenian lobby, they were under, so we are giving. However, the issue was more complicated than that, and also some of them researchers, some of them, because in the messages coming to us, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan communication is something so important not to leave to us. So I want to give a scientific point of view. We, as all of us, as the media consumers, in media there is we need to think like just therefore our observation from media was idealistic, and we have the reason for that, because in the democratical community media is very plain and it is just objective, and so that then the general community can have good result, and so that they can have the own choice. And this Pulitzer Prize, American Congressman Joseph Pulitzer, it was the journalist, it was an observer, and that line he was looking forward and give the however, this ideology, the Western world, the work starting from the 19th centuries, since the small newspapers are printed, many deputy psychiatrists in their works, humanists are the same. However, the issue is not so. An American critic, John Catt, was saying that this in 1880, starting from there, nashirs are far from journalists, and then they are turned into businessmen, and then they try to make it to white readers. So status quo was made by the press people, and in this Western media, actually it is for not to shrink the market, but if you are a part, even it is a truth, your other customers loses, and their daily activities is under this factor. In the first day of fights, especially the Western media, we were seeing that the external media, both for the Gence terror and also in Kandi, Armenian administration what they tried to formalize, the war was dirty and both parties, so Azerbaijan side should settle immediately. However, actually the teferruats should be explained, and the administrative people in Gence, in the city, in an external countries, and it was actually a murder of war. It was not equal with the other side, and also with provinces in the Karabakh was said disputed area, and of the region is the sovereign land. They were not accepting that, even to NATO, to Turkic Council, that they were not giving. So it was the way of facts, and what they say, the devil is in details, and many theories explain that the details are, it was the fake reality. Again, from America, I would like to bring an example. The New York Tribunal, Wes Greeley, in 1841, the journalists, what they like to say, they were saying that from obedience and staying off, the journalists are the ones without values, and media should be objective. This was a truth. However, the research shows that actually they have a civilized values, that they are far from neutrality. For example, in 1970s, NBC Newsweek, CBS, there was a sociologist, Herbert Kans, was saying that most of these rectors, and among them, one of them is individualism, the other one is small city citizenship. The journalists, in looking at small groups, keep them more than, and these are the romantica we are not kings. The one coming are far from them, and the ones that believe that they were talking about injustice, they were saying. However, here our auditoria, we have our scene as well, because mostly with the individual stories, then they understand better. However, in the increasing number of especially regarding an issue turn into subjective. Of course, even I criticize a lot. We should also say that the facts are important place in, therefore in Karabakh, in the defense of the land, they have more than 20 websites, and Azerbaijan's to every journalist, even don't caring about it with real answers, and is the real and now from the Güzgün to Azerbaijan has changed the de facto situation, and also in the media it is started to see, and President Aliyev in this front line. It's not in a single Azerbaijan, all world Azerbaijan, and with all Turkish media together, and of the information technologies and social media platforms. Nowadays, the citizen journalism, what we say, the people are using it, and if the Peşeker Jurnalistika is selective in the details, if they don't show our reality, the real version of the truth, the word Azerbaijan and word Turkic, they wrote hashtags Karabakh is Azerbaijan, stop Armenian aggression, pray for Gence. Under these kind of hashtags, daily aperitifs are given for the and from the media. And during the Karabakh, there is a notification and that data. We have seen that in this 44 days of the, if the sources were higher in Armenian, and starting from the second week and until the end, in the social media there is the established Turkic word, the source of Azerbaijan provided the highest level. Social media sharing of our leader Hikmet Hacıyev pages they saw, and also Azerbaijan protection defense sources see that what we could have done together. So let alone the official media, Elton John, the people with multi-million audience, we could, they said, sorry, we didn't do our research. So this shows what can we do together as the Turkish media. However, in order for it to continue, we didn't need any. We should not look always for crisis. Then we can continue our joint effort in the next time. I believe the role of the youth, I would like to highlight. We should go to solution weight and as Azerbaijan media journalistica, we had this, they say that media is the mirror of, so whatever the community is, the media shows it. Previously we were believing in that, but now 24 hours of media change this formula. Actually it's not the, and the media ehtudiyetsiz. So what should we provide to media? And we need to know from prognosis as a mathematical, this time in the science panel, and one of the offers was that of the Turkish world and Turkish council's leadership in Turkish televisions, in Turkish media, the programs we need to improve them. As Ada University, we take this as a special activity. For example, in Chat, one of the books, American professor Dr. Frederick Starr's Lost in Enlightenment. It was a very nice book, and of the Central Asia, the Turkish world, from all the, and here in this form, from yesterday, actually we decide these youth should know, because if we have those flag carriers, and here lastly I would like to say that here the roles of the youth should be improved, and their acting, we should learn the Hans platform, which platforms, and we should give the leadership to them. For that purpose, in the formulating, we should carry them. One of the proposals in Azerbaijan and in other, as the satellite universities should be selected, and here there should be a media training academies we should create, so that the youth could have these experiments, and they should say that for them what are the platforms for that. And previously there were TikToks. Today every word is in TikTok. Okay, I'm finishing. Maybe 3 years later we will not remember the name of the TikTok. So here to youth we should make it future and to better sources. So we need to give the initiative to them. And 2 days of media forum and platform, I believe it is the new roadmap. It was a determining speech. I have listened by being proud. And from Uzbekistan, our youth friend Kamarettin Sheyhov Kalantir Us from Uzbekistan.
Selam olsun ey Türk dünyası. Selam olsun Türkiye.
Greetings to Turkic world, greetings to Turkey, greetings to Azerbaijan
Selam olsun Can Özbekistan.
and Can Uzbekistan, greetings, and greetings to Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Hungary, Tatarstan, and Cyprus Turkish.
Selam olsun tüm değerli Türkler.
And Turkish, all the
Ayrıca
Turkic world, and also to Karabakh.
binlercelik kardeşlik bağlarının
Our thousands of year brotherhood today once more is getting stronger, and of the Turkic world, like our ancestors dreamed of,
bir güç
as a power, as one fist.
hepimizi tebrik ediyorum.
I congratulate you all, and within this opportunity I would like to thank the Turkish Council and who hosts us, Republic of Turkey Presidency Communication Directorate, and also Mr. Fahrettin Altun. First of all, last year in September, the issues of Karabakh and the reaction of the international society of Azerbaijan, the rights of in such a period, just like always, the United Nations, NATO, Minsk Group and Security Council and of invited Azerbaijan and Armenistan, and this was for Azerbaijan and 1,000 years of history and short-term tragedies. It was only a negligence. For 30 years, Armenia, against international law and UN decisions, the international organizations and some powers, when Azerbaijan started to exercise rights, started in 22nd of September. It's a huge war of information, and today we remember those days very well. In the social media, a new message every day, especially some, you understand what I mean, in some sources it was wrong, single-sided and defaming messages. We have seen this all along with the information. The sources were contradicting to each other, and as it gets more, some medias looking for objectivity actually are the puppets in other forces. Some media institutions from the official institutions started from assumption do you know it or not? Actually, kalambir means chili pepper in Uzbek language, which is the sour truth. As it is sour, even they don't trust, we need to show them. One of the correspondents disrespecting the our correspondent couldn't keep his stripes, and as Kalampir news agency, we didn't trust all the sources, but we checked from many sources and we wrote what we have seen, and this is the consciousness of a journalist and media journalist writing the truth. 1 month ago, again, Karabakh went to this place. For 30 years, he was witnessing, and in Karabakh, after the armed conflict and the war of the disinformation, today it is showing how important is the media's role and responsibility it is. And of the pandemic, for global injustice, human rights violations, hunger, Islamophobia, the inequality and international refugee crisis, and for long years, double standards.
Karabağ'da yaşananlar dünyanın
What happened in Karabakh of the world,
beşten büyük olduğunu ve 8 milyar
as they are
insanın
bigger than
hayatını bir avuç ülkenin vicdanını
one,
bırakılmayacağını
that it cannot be given to the consciousness of the Western.
bunda medyanın rolü daha da artacak.
So the role of the media will be more.
Bizler şimdi ülkemizde yaşanan
In
olayları
years,
bunu hepimiz yaşadık.
we have all had this, our friend in Kazakhstan as well.
Ülkemizde yaşanan olayları yabancı basında okudu.
We have read them in the foreign press, and in our we see such news still, especially in huge crime reports, without finding the perpetrator, without identifying the perpetrator in Central Asia, or assumption of people from there in the emotions of them. It is losing the prestigious. Unfortunately, some correspondent use it, and from then these reports cannot be accepted. And against this disinformation, as you know, we need to give hand to hand. And today, not only the experiences, but also interaction, and we are establishing a platform for solidarity, and now secondary or tertiary sources, we need to get them directly and provide them today. The results of our occupational activities, by analyzing it to our stakeholders, they will have the chance to do it. Within this opportunity between the media of Turkic-speaking countries, we can make a news platform. Such a platform will empower us, and the media representatives together. Once more, we will come together in Karabakh. Of the Karabakh events, we didn't forget, we will never forget Karabakh belongs to Azerbaijan. Distinguished Uzbekistan Kalampir Uz Agency President Kamarettin Sheikov, thank you so much. I believe our ambassador I would introduce, but they are in a hurry, so I believe now the lady you see is the ambassador Dr. Hasibe Şahanoğlu from Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, poet and author and lecturer in Girne American University, and worked in Baku for long years. Please. Of my homeland, distinguished Deputy President and distinguished guests. Today, while starting my words, I would like to thank the Presidency Communication Directorate, and on behalf of the Turkish people, I brought you my respects. I want to start with the poet of Seliman Yakup. Kaçkın, göçkün, lidergin, evsiz, eşiksiz kalan, dili sözsüz, laylısız, elverişsiz kalan. boyun büken sonaların yazık olan analar. Karabakh, until recent years, was like in this poem. When you think about 1992, I remember those red flowers. We were so upset, and while we were watching, we were very upset. We were watching the mothers of the martyrs with red flowers in the graves of their relatives. We were also crying. Our heart was with Azerbaijan people. We were also upset. In order to prevent further massacre, we were praying 6 to 7. When I started as Turkish embassy, and their windows and doors were covered with nylons, and there were people living there. When I asked, in Baku, 1 million Karabakh immigrants, and they are in this kind of buildings. They were trying to survive their lives with the AIDS. I felt their suffering because in Cyprus, until we got our freedom, we had these kind of problems with our martyrs and losses. Now, the Cyprus Turks and share the Azerbaijan Turk brothers and sisters to get back Karabakh. The great leader Atatürk in 1921, while the Azerbaijan representative was being opened in Ankara, said, "The joy of Azerbaijan is our joy, and the suffer is our suffer." Just like that, Azerbaijan, the joy to reach old soil was our joy as well. Armenian should forget the Karabakh dream. In this topic, Azerbaijan, taking the undisputed support of Turkey, I believe, shall protect the homeland the best way, and they will improve these places. And Cyprus Turkish will always support Azerbaijan in their right cause. Turkey in the last years developed their foreign policy over humanitarian policy and strong Turkey on the field and table, and the humanitarian entrepreneur role of foreign policy has taken the side of Turkey to these previously colonized countries. Turkey, especially in this time in the national defense industry, very improvement, especially marine platform and unmanned air platforms is more than the world standards, and this is increasing the impact of strong Turkey in the field and table. For today, Turkey is carrying its position from the regional power to regional power with worth in the global issues. Turkey as of now can make joint activities in Northern Cyprus and Azerbaijan, and can carry out obligations in NATO and UN. And in 2017, Turkey is number one in the humanitarian aid in the world. And in the historical process, the Southern Cyprus Greek administration has close relation with Armenia. In 1992, the protocol signing for the diplomatic relations, this has been empowered. The Greek side and Armenian, they are standing close against Turkey, and even they act as allies. As Greek administration and in Armenian public opinion, a stereotype concept is influencing. They are trying to create a negative Turkey perception. The Armenian and Greek foreign policy actors, when you look the content of their speech, this concept is being concrete, and Turkey is being trying to address the Greek management, as they want to be in alliance with Armenia against Ankara. They signed military and military technical collaboration agreement, and the so-called mass genocide claims of Armenians first time in 1965 was the Greek administration Foreign Affairs Minister Spiros Kyprianou. Again in 1974, Peace and Freedom Movement. After that, the Greek administration supported terrorist Asala in material and spiritual, and for the world to act against Turkey and to act embargo, Armenia worked with the Greek administration. Both sides act together in issues such as Karabakh, the so-called Armenian genocide, and Cyprus issue. They supported each other and targeted to take decisions on behalf of them. Armenian and Greek administration, starting from 1990s, they have the high-level official visits, and Turkey, after the collapse of the Soviet, the Caucasian and Central Asia Turkish republics increase economic and military relations, and Turkey helped great contribution to Azerbaijan military. Therefore, Turkey and Azerbaijan, and whenever place and time, they will provide all kind of military support to Turkic brothers and sisters, and shall not be afraid of anyone while doing this. Azerbaijan is an important place for energy. For the future years, the income from energy, they invest in agriculture and technology in other places, so it will be an attracting company in the world and in the region. Turkey has always kept economic, social and cultural relations with Azerbaijan along with military relations. For 30 years, Turkish military forces and Azeri military forces, the Karabakh victory was won. This example will be a role model for the countries who are doing military alliance. This victory from solidarity, Cyprus Turkish nation experienced this with the help of Turkey in 1974 peace and freedom movement, and in 1983 the founding of Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic. Now we have a new process. This federation meetings of 50 years, the negative attitude of Greeks, they couldn't find the result. The Turkish side wants two-side solutions, and in this new process, our homeland supporting us, and also Azerbaijan will be with us. With the Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic and Azerbaijan we compare. Of course, Northern Cyprus Republic of Turkey is a small country. However, the Cyprus Turkish nation has some experience in the 47 years of Cyprus negotiations, and these experience can be an example in the discussions between Azerbaijan and Armenian, and also some applications can be role models, and some of them can be listed as so measures to increase trust to prevent a possible conflict, and the green line regulation between two countries to improve economic life, and also Lost People Committee, which is a role model especially for human rights violation, and the Immovable Good Commission with the coordination of EU, and sharing the experience for resettling the Maraş city, and for developing a guarantorship model. Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic is always ready to cooperate with Azerbaijan. Of course, Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic has some expectation from Azerbaijan. First of all, they are very happy to the support until now and grateful. Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic should be acknowledged in the shortest time. If this is not possible, to create policies to be recognized. For example, Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic representation status to be upgraded in order to remove the embargo against Northern Republic Turkish Republic direct flight and realizing the issues such as goods, product and service supplying from Northern Cyprus Republic of Turkey. And also we are an education island and the energy area, sharing the information and delivering to Northern Republic, increasing military between Turkey and this education and trainings to be contributed by both countries in the energy field to use the advantage against EU and US with the favor of Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic in order to meet both countries' people to have social and cultural projects. As a result, Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic want to make relation with Azerbaijan in the same level with Turkey. The Cyprus Turkish nation want to improve the motto of the relation, the slogan to be like three nation, one state. Thank you so much.
Sayın Büyükelçimizle teşekkür ederiz. Çok sağ olun. İnşallah.
Thank you so much. I hope there are the days we can have your wishes. And now the last speaker, I know the time is limited, but regarding Karabakh, regarding our emotions from victory from solidarity, and now Kyrgyzstan National TV and Radio Institutions Union Director, Mr. Turdalev. Distinguished Turkic Council General Secretary, distinguished Turkey Republic President of Presidency Communication, and also Ersin Tatar, the distinguished President of Northern Cyprus Turkish Republic. And we have Azerbaijan Republic Vice President. My work to remind, maybe you are excited. Before this conflict in the former Soviet lands and regions, it was hard to make an assumption regarding Karabakh. In the 25th of June, İlham Aliyev, in 10th of November, Azerbaijan, Armenian and Russia, three-side agreement between and the conflict taken under control, and the president for the Azerbaijan continued on efforts, and the Karabakh War in the 80th years of the perestroika of Gorbachev, starting from
улуттук иденттүүлүк идеялары чоң популярдуулукка ээ болгон. Ошол
It was so popular then, and since then there has been some conflicts, and both sides gave martyrs, and there has been thousands of refugees, and more than 10,000 people were lost. The international society, including United Nations and EU Security Council, and of course Turkic Council countries for peace, and they invited them for that. And in the 20 years, while the conflicts were active, Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Ermenistan were invited to be patient, and regarding Karabakh, they were ready to. And 27 years ago, in 97, Armenia and Azerbaijan, between them, in order to prevent the fight, Bishkek was the negotiator, and the protocol was in the parliament of Kyrgyzstan and assembly, and along with the Russian Foreign Affairs Ministry. Unfortunately, Kyrgyzstan this year by Tajikistan suffered military assault, and the institute I mentioned, despite we needed support, but we didn't see as Kyrgyzstan and Azerbaijan. Within the Turkic Language Council and within the Islamic Union, actually in the assembly of the Turkic Council, and also Kyrgyzstan with Armenia in Europe Council, and we wish sustainability and peace. And at the year we are in, from the Tajikistan side, as we were attacked, we lost 36 martyrs. There is this saying, peace is better than conflict, and in Turkey hundreds of people can say this is my home. And here President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is always says this with pride. This Turkish people like peace, and who comes with the sword, we never let them free. And together we should prevent such a fight doesn't start. We don't want children to be without father, and we don't want the parents to see our brotherly countries should come together and should be in unity and living with peace with neighbors, and for the bright future of we need to be in a common position. I thank you.
Kırgızistan Ulusal Komutan ve Radyo Komutan Direktörü Sayın Aydın Bölgenler'e teşekkür ederiz. Kırgızistan olarak konuklarla
Waiting for their we thank them and Turkish Republic Recep Tayyip Erdogan, it's a motto they like. The Turkish people like to live in peace, but if you come with sword, we know how to respond. And in the region, the peace, living with peace, of course, is our main need. And of the fifth session, while ending it, this victory in Karabakh, very generally I should say, actually all of us are waiting Turkish Council and everyone contributing, coming from abroad but being close to everyone. I'm thinking, but there is one reality we've seen, that of 44 days of Karabakh war, it is scientifically a result. 44 days of victory for Turkish geography, for Turkish state is the youth are here. It's a awakening and more than victory. And I remember that in 9th of in Azerbaijan, Turkish Council General Secretary, my dear friend Biznat Güzelov moderatorship, and then this has been realized, and I believe in this meeting will open the path to new meetings. And on the communication sociology, we need to highlight once more the communication sociology is the historical process of development it covers, which means that historical process actually a very important mission for Azerbaijan in rightful war, and all the Turkish republics in Turkestan, in Eurasia culture, in that geography. It's our joint heritage, which we all accept. The national book in Kitab-ı Dede Korkut, as it is said, with woman and female, it says Yagı. All of us, we know how to be one. And of this form, what it brought to us yesterday, Azerbaijan Deputy President, a song to, wanted the song to, and Azerbaijan poet Ahmet Cevat 100 years ago, it is the poem. However, along with that poem, as you know, Kafkas Islam Ordu came to Azerbaijan. So 1130 Mehmetçik died, and Fetelhan Koylu said, from coming from Anatolia and lose their life for Azerbaijan. With help of these martyrs, we are so connected, no one can break us. Just like Kafkas Islam Army, how important sociologic and important activities, and 1 century later, any activity against Azerbaijan without hesitation, Turkey Republic said we can intervene, because this is the delivery of the heritage, and these emotions is not gone. And in 1928, Azerbaijan, the first democratic republic of all the east of Azerbaijan people, the Ottoman in the higher Padishah, the 6th Mehmet, accepted Azerbaijan team, and in their letters from Istanbul, Padişah put his hand on me and he said, "You are my sons under these terrible conditions in Istanbul, in Pera Palace for Azerbaijan government. Everything was provided by Padişah. An office was found and Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, they provide the personal stands in media. Hikmet Hacıyev, I'm not saying is here, we all here, and Fahrettin Altun continued this, and that 1 century ago union was carried to this time, but is it enough? No. Why? Because along with the Karabakh victory, this coming together should not be only Azerbaijan and Turkey, with all the Northern Republic Turkish side. We should have a stronger fist, because during the Soviet occupation we had these days were saying like the utopic dreams, and in the beginning of the 90 years, while the Soviets were last collapsed yet, I have written my doctorate dissertation. I started it is the homeland is not only Turkey or Turkestan, but it is Turan, and with the help of Azerbaijan, it was the topic, and at that time from Anatolia, putting their feelings and actually being Karabakh, but having was killed by Armenian terrorism in order to save, by passing to Agri Mountain, and from problematic lands, Yavuz, Bülent, Bakiler, of all the Anatolian, their point of view to Azerbaijan. With these, Azerbaijan is a crying for long years. In my land, it's the blood Azerbaijan. In my that 44 days is the time, and we had that time, and here it's not about hamaset or saying nice things or by making ünsiyet. We have exceeded these now. We have our joint media platforms. We are talking, and it's not a dream. For example, between Turkey and Azerbaijan, it's very nice that I'm one of the council members, and I believe that Uzbekistan, those bright during 44 days, those news, I believe that all Uzbekistan use it, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, the same. Which means that I was the head of the delegation at that time, and as I said that geography, when the dust is over, then the essence of civilization, and today our gathering here, making new project for the future, definitely for other unions. It's not against the other countries or unions. It is because our own civilization richness and making our togetherness, how power it brings. Starting from this moment, strategically we are planning the future, what we do, which means that one step further we will have much more bigger projects together, because in Kitab-ı Dede Korkut, in the recommendations, the best one, that we should be one, strong, and hopefully When we are one, we are robust, like we have shown in the 44 days of war, and also how important of the spirituality, and sometimes the discourse is more effective when the third country is intervening. We are there and we can do it. So we have no doubt that it will be, we solved it, which means that it's not only for Azerbaijan, for the Union of Turkish World in Nakhchivan in 2019. Those signatures are more than being signature. It's about union and going in this road, sometimes falling, but never being a slave, or never to continue its path. And for the next generation, it's the story of a nation, the victory of Karabakh, what is the union of Turkish nation. And what is Karabakh victory? For 30 years, for the region to live in peace, to have maximum diplomacy and human, against all the pushing, against the enemy. It's a heroic Turkish nation story. Therefore, all the applause is for this, like a light in Karabakh with that victory. The most important success, we were saying, Kafkas Islam Ordusu to save Azerbaijan in 21st century. Those land to get back for the Turkic world is a glorious victory. Greetings to them. And with Azerbaijan, starting from the first day, we standed with the soldiers and giving the message of I'm here, but most importantly, diplomatically showing our togetherness, including President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. And to my homeland, Turkey, I want to extend my greetings to Turkestan, because with those greetings from Tanrı Mountains, those spirit, we are together. May Allah once more shall not give fight to us like in Karabakh, but we shall not have bad days. Every day we shall be together, and from here, everyone, we said we are together. If I said wrong things, forgive me. And once more, Kubatlı, where my father and grandfather's graves were there, Susha including, and for saving those lands who lost their lives, but most importantly, but Azerbaijan Republic said, I have one son, I will give it two, and against, as a mother, to have 3 children. For our martyrs and for our veterans, may the voice of Türk is bigger. I finish with Kitabı Dede Korkut. Let's our prosperity is independent. May Allah be our aid. Thank you so much.
Efendim Profesör Doktor Sayın Aygün Attar'a çok teşekkür ederim.
We thank Professor Doctor and all the speakers, and yes, please with your applause. And now we are at the end of our session at 21st.